Next up, I'm so excited because this is the moment. Literally, when I thought of this idea for Women's Entrepreneurship Day, I realized women never get credit. Women are never recognized. Did you know that a woman created Cisco and was the founder of Cisco, one of the biggest companies in the world? No, that's Sandy Lerner. She was the founder of Cisco. Did you know a woman created the chocolate chip cookie? And we never give her credit? This is why Women's Entrepreneurship Day is so important, to recognize, celebrate, and support women. So I am so honored today. Woohoo! Our 5th year anniversary. We've got what a crew. I want to welcome our 2019 Women's Entrepreneurship Day Pioneer Award winners. First up, welcome Leah Solivan, founder of TaskRabbit, which I love, who recently sold it to IKEA and now is a partner at Fuel Capital. Sit down. All right. Woo! All right, next up, we have Stephanie Newby. She is the founder of Golden Seeds. Golden Seeds is the first literally company to invest in women angel ground. Thank you, Stephanie. Woohoo! Next up, we have our Philanthropy Pioneer Award winner. We have Patty Baker. This woman has already donated over $300 million for causes around the world, including donating to Hunter College, FIT, and you're going to hear more. Oh! Next up, we have our Fashion Pioneer Award winner. This is the one, the only, Norma Kamali. Woo! Next up, this is fun. So everyone was like, wait, after having a stalker, I kind of got off social media, and everyone's like, wait, do you really need to bring, the millennials in and all this stuff? And I'm like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And all of a sudden, I was now exposed to this whole other world. Woohoo! Whoa. Anyways, please welcome our Influencer Pioneer Award, Hannah Stocking. She has 25 million plus followers and is a global entertainer and an advocate to bringing awareness to amazing causes. Woo! All right, next up, we have the one, the only, Francine Lefrak, who is receiving our Accessory Pioneer Award today. Woo! All right, here we go. All the way from Atlanta. She worked it here. Woohoo! Anyways, welcome Missy Elliot, who is getting our Music Pioneer Award. Come on, Missy! Right? She's super shy. How funny is that? I love it. Oh, we're missing it. Okay. Where is Amir Desal? Is he here? So just so you know, by the way, I'm usually not the one that does this, and I'm sorry about that. Amir Desal had to go to the bathroom, but he'll be back in a couple of minutes. No, just kidding. All right, everyone. So I will start this off. I need my Amir. All right. Please. So first off, I want everybody to realize that these women are seriously some of the most important women in history. Some people in this world might not recognize some of them, but literally what they have done for this world, they're pioneers. They have broken the glass ceiling. They have made way for people, for young girls everywhere. Whoop, whoop. to be a part of this. I want to say, oh, here's the man of the hour. Woo!
Woo! I'm here.
Wait, by the way, did I mention that this is an all-volunteer movement? I don't get paid, so we're doing this, and we're making it work. Woohoo! All right, everyone, please welcome my co-host, Amir Jasal, again.
Okay, I'm back. So why don't we invite Lorraine Arbus. Lorraine, please come up to the podium. Lorraine has been the founding supporter of the Women's Entrepreneurship Day movement. And Lorraine, thank you for all that you're doing. Whoops. Come. Yeah. Oh, you can stand with me. How's that?
Well, I have to present to my...
Yes. We have to present to everybody. So, very exciting that we have a number of dynamic women leaders who will be getting this special award today. Let's start with Leah Solivan. She's the general partner of Fuel Capital and founder of TaskRabbit. So I wonder what TaskRabbit is, actually.
TaskRabbit, we all know that.
So Leah she invests in early stage capital companies focused on consumer technology, hardware, education, marketplaces, and retail. She's very supportive of working with teams and taking on game-changing ideas. She is amazing. She relates well to founders, and she's one herself, of course. And she's creating one of the most widely recognized consumer brands for decades with TaskRabbit. So as CEO for 8 years, she scaled the company to 44 countries and raised more than $50 million. In 2016, she transitioned into the role of executive chairwoman, and in 2017, TaskRabbit was acquired by IKEA. So she's a true, successful entrepreneur and now a philanthropist as well. Yeah, and she's a global speaker. She's spoken at the World Economic Forum as well as Tina Brown's Women in the World Summit. And she's been featured in a number of leading press publications, including the Wall Street Journal, Wired, and Time. She's also been named as one of the 100 most creative people in business by Fast Company. So warm welcome to Leah. Please.
Thank you. Wow, it's incredible. Wonderful, thank you so much.
I'm getting Wendy to come.
Okay, great.
Wendy, come. Please.
Okay,
Dave.
Where we go?
Yes.
all right.
Nice picture. Smile.
Okay.
Stress.
All right, thank you. That's incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is such an honor to be here with you all today. It just happens to be my 40th birthday today. So, yes, I can't imagine actually a better place to celebrate than here with all of you. It's pretty remarkable. My sister is here, all the way from Nashville. So thrilled to have her here, Amber. My wonderful fiance, Michael, from San Francisco. My soon-to-be sister-in-law, Chloe, is here. And my dear friend, Jamie, who's been a friend and a colleague for more than a decade and helped me build TaskRabbit. Now, really special to have here today is my daughter, Amelia. Can I get Amelia to come up to the stage with me here? Come on up, sweetie. Come on up, babe. Come on up. So Amelia just had a birthday as well. She just turned 6. She just turned 6. And, you know, I was probably a tad older than Amelia when I started my first company. My first company was called Pollution Solutions. My sister's nodding her head. The motivation for this company actually was to boss around my little sister in the basement office that I created, and I called myself CEO. But the second motivation, truly, was that I wanted to create a recycling program in our elementary school. And I think, from a very young age, I look back on that and I think about wanting to have an impact on the world. And that was incredibly put into perspective and heightened when I had my daughter here, Amelia. Not only because I wanted to create a better world for her, but because I want her to have the opportunities to create an impact that she wants to have in her generation. Now, I didn't grow up exposed to a lot of entrepreneurship. In fact, my father, Papi, was in the Air Force for over 30 years. My mother was a stay-at-home mom. But what I've come to realize is that there's an entrepreneur inside each and every one of us. Being an entrepreneur is about being able to see something 1,000 times and look at it differently. An idea is not an invention, it's a discovery. I was not the first person to have the idea for TaskRabbit. I was not the person who invented Neighbors Helping Neighbors. But I was someone who took that idea, that discovery, and I cultivated it, and I grew it, and I scaled it into the company that it became. Now, we heard earlier today, and it's true, only 2% of venture capital goes to women-led businesses. The opportunity and the gap that there is in the market is so vast and so great. And just thinking about the type of impact that women can have with our unique perspectives and unique businesses on the globe is so exciting. And it's opportunities like this to all get together and celebrate and inspire and empower and support women that are so, so important. These are the types of opportunities that are going to change things for our generation, Amelia's generation, and every generation after hers. And I hope that we can not only make incremental change, but leaps and bounds with every generation moving forward. Now, as I think about what I would tell my 6-year-old self, as I look out in this room today, what I wish for Amelia and what I wish for all of you is to have big, hairy, audacious goals. Call them BHAGs. BHAGs are the type of goals that you keep hidden away in a closet because you're too embarrassed to say them out loud. Because people will think you are insane if you share the idea because it is so out of this world crazy. I like to picture them as the beasts from Where the Wild Things Are. Giant monsters with hairy bodies and glowing yellow eyes and long gnarling claws, causing a wild rumpus. What I wish for you is to discover and tame these beasts, because these are the ideas that are going to change the world, and we all have the empower to unleash them. Thank you.
The next one is the Financial Pioneer Award. You've heard of so many amazing women helping other women invest and focus on entrepreneurship. And Stephanie Newby has given people this opportunity. Under Stephanie's leadership, her company, I don't know, so many different companies. She's got Crimson Hexagon, Proceeds, and Golden Seeds. And all of those are focused on investing in the future of women, betterment of women. Stephanie, thank you very much for what you're doing, and please come up to the podium for the award. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It really is an honor to be here, especially with this fabulous view and the amazing people that we're meeting today. My original vision for Golden Seeds came from an urge for there to be more companies in the world that would become great places to work for women, where they could thrive, where they could be safe, where they could have pay parity, where they could have promotion parity, where they could get to the top, to make work work. And I used to have to explain why that was an issue, but the Me Too movement has obviated the need for any explanation. So let me just go straight to Golden Seeds, because I felt that if there were women at the top from the beginning, then corporate culture would be established by those founders, and it would grow as the company grew. And so Golden Seeds was established to support women entrepreneurs. And I quickly found that capital was the biggest pain point. In the past 15 years, Golden Seeds has provided over $125 million to 175 women-led companies. We did that by mostly nurturing many, many women to become investors. And over 600 women have gone through training programs and become active investors in those high-growth companies, predominantly technology and life sciences companies, but also some consumer companies and others. And so I think we've proven that women are willing to take risk. We've also proven very effectively that women entrepreneurs make great investments. It's not just philanthropy. And we've got lots of research and data to demonstrate what a fabulous investment women entrepreneurs are. So we've talked about this 2% and how the roadblocks to getting capital at various stages in the funding pipeline. So I don't want to repeat that. But if we were to step back a little bit and look at that holistically, I really believe that entrepreneurship is a step towards wealth creation. And what we really have when we think about venture capitalists funding in entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs having success like TaskRabbit and others, and creating wealth from those exits. Often that money goes back into the funds that invested in them, and those investors will reinvest in their successful entrepreneurs. So what you are creating actually is a virtuous circle of wealth creation. Women are largely outside of this today. So I feel the next barrier and the next frontier that we face is to create an inclusive, virtuous circle of wealth creation. I want to mention, because I've done lots of speeches and things over the years, and I never have any of my family present, and my husband is here today, and my son, and I really am delighted for that. I also want to call out Lisa Marie Casey, who joined me at the very beginning of Golden Seeds, and Joanne Corcoran, who is one of the awesome women that leads the venture capital funds at Golden Seeds today. Thank you.
Next awardee is Patty Baker, and she's receiving the Philanthropy Pioneer Award. Yes. Patty is known to the UN, and she's been here before. And Patty, thank you for all that you're doing. You're a Broadway producer. You showed Tiffany how to do things better. And over the years, you've actually developed a philanthropy model to help the underprivileged, and your family has given so much money for good causes. And we are so thrilled that you continue to do so, and you're creative. And we are honored to have you here. Warm welcome, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi. I'm a little bit shy when I speak, so I've taken notes. So I hope you don't mind if I read from them, if I can find them. Which I can't. Okay, here we go. Okay. First of all, I want to say that I am honored to be here today among all the honorees and all of the guests. It's exciting to be at the UN. Oh, my God. Thank you for having me, Wendy, and for the UN. I've been involved in philanthropy for about 20 years with my amazing husband, Jay Baker. Jay, stand. I grew up in a little town called Sykesville, Maryland. My dad was the fire chief, and my mom, and he was president of the Men's Auxiliary. My mother was the president of the Women's Auxiliary at the state level. I think that's when I learned to give and give back. I have been involved with fundraising and charity throughout elementary school, high school, and college. I was often involved in some sort of fundraiser, and I'm still involved in supporting theater and art, among other things. I serve on the board of the Public Theater in New York, the Bay Street Theater in Sag Harbor, the Gulf Shore Playhouse in Naples, Florida, and I'm advisor to the Naples Players in Naples, Florida. I'm also on the board of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yes, woohoo! In addition, I'm involved with hospitals, colleges, museums. Someone asked me, what does philanthropy mean? Well, the term was first used in 1736. It's a Greek term, and it means love of mankind. The purpose of philanthropy is to improve the well-being of mankind by preventing and solving social problems. Philanthropy is not the same as charity. Charity focuses on eliminating suffering caused by social problems. Philanthropy focuses on eliminating those social problems. Charity is short-term, philanthropy is long-term, strategic, and focused on rebuilding. There is charity, then there is problem solving. Charity, which is philanthropy. For those of you interested in philanthropy, I'm going to give you a quick lesson on how to get started with philanthropy using the 12 letters in the word philanthropy. Here goes. P stands for pick your cause carefully, then plan on how to best serve it. H, help. Don't be afraid to ask for it, especially if it's a new venture for you. I, investigate the charity on the web, Google, people, check the annual reports, see how the money's spent, look at administrative fees and salaries. They can be very telling. L, support the cause you love. Love the cause you support. Children, senior citizens, animals, schools, hospitals, museums, orchestras, the ladies of Women's Development Organization, who will benefit greatly from today's events around the world. Listen to what is needed. A, ask questions and have answers for the audience you approach to ask for money. N, know your audience. N, know your audience. Just checking to see if you're paying attention. Remember names. Not only does it make people feel good, it makes them feel special, and they're more likely to help you if you remember them. T, talk up your cause. Tell others about it. Tell them how they can support and benefit your charity, which benefits themselves. H, it's so important working with others and in times of stress to have a sense of humor. It will serve you well, no matter what you do. R, respect opposing opinions and others' time, and respect a no when soliciting. It's not a personal put down. It's just a no. O, open your purse and encourage others to do so. It helps everyone. P, play it forward. Provide for charities in your will and your estate planning. And last, why? You. You may help those who can't help themselves receive an education, get competent medical service, provide an incentive to do better, be better. You may provide services to engage lonely seniors. You may save an animal's life. You may open up an experience in art or theater or literature for a young child or an adult. You can help women break the glass ceiling. You can do so many things for so many people, so many women. If you've been blessed with time or treasure, sharing is its own reward. Jay and I have given much of it to support women, and we are thrilled to be able to do so. In honor of We Do and paraphrasing a great 20th century orator, ask not what women can do for you, but what you can do for women. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let everybody know today, which is like, I mean, one of the most, I love it so much, is that we're partners with Lalella organization. Lalella provides arts education for the most impoverished children in the entire world. And the awards that these wonderful women are receiving were created by these girls that are from 10 to 16 years old. And they created these through questions that these women have answered. And so these are by these children. So we're going to keep them up, and I want everybody to see it. And so you know how impactful this is for those kids to be able to create these for these women. It's helping, and it's going to be the ripple effect for the future. Woohoo! Okay, we're going to start. Go ahead.
Thank you, Wendy. And the next awardee is Norma Kamali, the Fashion Pioneer Award. So she's done amazing work. She created an organization after 9/11 to help with wellness and take care of people impacted by the crisis. She's an international fashion designer. She's the founder and CEO of Normal Life. I don't know what normal life is for me, by the way. So she's the founder and CEO of the Wellness Cafe and Stop Objectification Campaign. Norma, thank you for all that you're doing, and we are delighted you're here with us to receive this Fashion Pioneer Award.
Thank you very much for being honored today with all of these wonderful women. It is about being an entrepreneur. And of course, I'm a fashion designer. I love my job. I'm living the creative life that I've wanted. And I will tell you a little bit about the entrepreneur part of this story. So 50 years ago, I opened a business. And I was traveling back and forth to London, and I would bring clothes, and my friends wanted them, so I opened a shop. My husband was a student, and he was studying in Colombia. He was from Iran. We were very unlikely mates, but we came together at 19 to get married. Not smart. However, we had the business together. I would go back and forth to London. I had a job at an airline, not as a stewardess. I was working on a UNIVAC computer in the airline. It was one of the first type of companies that had computers at that time. We're talking the 60s. I'm 74 now, to put it in perspective. So I had early experience with computers, very good, but I was in London in the 60s when it was all happening. So my husband and I had the company together. I was sort of the invisible one, and he was the one that would speak to people, sell the clothes. And fast forward 10 years later, it's not going so well between the two of us. He became a party animal and decided to spend the money for fabric and other things and date the sales girls and all good things. So to save my self-esteem, I had to leave. And I had $98. So I had to keep my soul, so I left. I didn't have a clue. Nobody knew me. I was hidden in the back. I was making clothes. I had full pages in Vogue and Bazaar, but nobody really knew me. They knew him. And I had an apartment because we separated, and I had a mattress. I didn't have curtains. I didn't have furniture. I had my clothes, and it was scary. And I was 30. And I thought to myself, what the hell am I going to do? I was panicked. I had an appointment with somebody from the press that sought me out that was already in place the next day after I left. And I met her, and my face was swollen from crying and not knowing what I was going to do. And she never met me before. It was the first time I'm meeting anybody from the press. And she said, "What happened to you?" And I never, ever told anybody, ever, that I needed anything. And it was the breakthrough day for me. I told her what happened. I was so embarrassed, so mortified that I was even telling this story. And then she said, "Well, I'm going to help you." And I was shocked that somebody's going to help me. My goodness, I thought I was all alone in this. And that's when I learned that I had to tell my story. I had to let people know. And I was so shocked that people really appreciated my work and what I'd been doing. And so I had a lot of help. From that point on, I became the sole owner of OMO, which was on my own, Norma Kamali. The name of the company before that was Kamali, and I wasn't allowed to legally use that, so I had to think of something to go with it. So on my own served me well, but when I did that, and this is now the 70s, hundreds and more than hundreds through the years of women sent me letters, called me, saying, "Thank you for doing this. I think I can do it too. I think I'll be able to do something on my own and save my soul." So fast forward to now. I own my own company. I always have owned my own company. I don't owe any money. I have a pretty good life. I met my soulmate at 65. Never think these things are going to happen, but they do. And I am living the life I decided I wanted to live 50 years ago, and that was a creative life. And so I've learned how to take art and commerce and combine them together to be an entrepreneur. As far as Norma Life, which also is normal life, this is a new company I've just started. You see, I'm just beginning again. And part of my sort of goal and purpose for the rest of my life is to also talk about the power of aging. Women get aged out. At 20, I remember when I was 18, my mother said it's downhill from here on out. And I cried because I believed her. I wasn't a kid anymore, and oh my God, now what the hell is going to happen? And then at 30, you have another crisis, and it goes on. And so I'm writing a book about it, and I'm talking about it, but I want you to understand that the power of aging is magnificent. Thank you.
Norma, thank you. That's so inspiring. And now you know, with $98, you can make it. Next awardee is the Influencer Pioneer Award to Hannah Stocking. Hannah doesn't need any introduction. She's a popular star on YouTube, has 6.7 million followers, and she's very committed. You know, her resume is unbelievable. She's a multi-talented writer, director, and actress who brings a unique comedy to millions of viewers around the world. With a background in chemistry and biology, Hannah breaks down interesting and relevant topics in easily accessible ways, so you can understand it in very simple ways. And she's created 2 original series, The Science of Beauty and The Science Party of Hannah Stocking. Welcome, Hannah.
Wow, this is amazing. We're in the United Nations building. Woo! Well, first and foremost, I would like to thank the wonderful girls of the Lala Project for creating this beautiful artwork. I'm extremely honored to be here in the presence of so many inspiring women. I want to thank the Women's Entrepreneurship Day organization for inviting me to celebrate women and all of their amazing accomplishments. Let's give a round of applause to all the amazing women here. I also want to thank my mom, who's here today, for being the best role model, teacher, life coach, and roommate I could ask for. You showed me what it means to be a strong woman through your actions, and I've always looked up to you. She's right there, by the way, on table 2. Everybody look at her. As a kid, I didn't have many friends, so I turned to making funny videos as a creative outlet. I was a student athlete at a university in California, where I played volleyball and studied biology and chemistry. And as a hobby, I differentiated neurotransmitters into, or stem cells into neurotransmitters, and then looked at the gene expression levels to hopefully help other neurological diseases and get a better grasp of how to help them. During the little free time I had in college, I would create comedy sketches and started to notice that people were responding positively to it. So after 4 long years on the court and in the lab, I decided to pursue a less traditional route and transitioned into being a full-time creator. I'm very fortunate to also be able to work with forward-thinking brands like Google, who let me have full creative control. Far too often, women are placed into a box. Media tells us that we have to dress and act a certain way. With my platform, I hope to show younger girls and women that they shouldn't feel the pressure of society. Instead, they should express themselves freely. Society will try to pit women against each other. Instead, I choose to support my friends and their amazing achievements. We can start by supporting each other, using our resources and platforms to make ourselves seen and heard. Spaces like this, where women from different backgrounds can come together and share ideas, is so important. Women have made great progress, but there's still so much more work to do. I'm proud to be recognized by such a great organization for my efforts, and I'm extremely thankful for this opportunity. I can't wait to share what I've learned with the millions of women that follow me. Thank you.
Both of those are my favorite people, by the way. So I apologize for showing my bias. And the next one is the Accessory Pioneer Award to a dear friend, Francine Lefrak. Francine, and I know you won't mind me saying this, Francine and her husband both are a dynamic couple. Francine has been amazing. She's supported the work of the United Nations. She's helped inspire women, empower women. When the Rwanda tragedy happened, Francine came to the United Nations and said, I want to help those women who have been suffering and who've been tortured. And I don't want to just give, as Patty said earlier on, it's not charity, it's smart philanthropy. I want to empower them, give them sustainability, I want to give them jobs, I want to sell their products here in the US so they can be part of society. She started Same Sky in 2008. And if you haven't seen that, those fancy bracelets actually came out of that. And she helped these HIV-positive women after the genocide in Rwanda. Her work in social justice has been honored widely, including at the United Nations, in the UN Women for Peace Award, and the Women Who Cares Award, and of course the Ellis Island Medal of Honor. And we were privileged to receive that a few years ago, and that is a very special honor to recognize Americans who are doing great for humanity. Francine, a warm welcome to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Amir, and thank you, the girls of La La La, because there's a wonderful Statue of Liberty in that drawing, and that means a lot to me and my family. My husband, Rick Friedberg, where are you, honey? Did you leave? There he is. Even his email address is Liberty One New York, so he's perfect for Liberty. I first want to thank Lorene Arbus, who's a great philanthropist who focuses on women's issues and disability and has really been a pioneer. And she is the one that nominated me for this award. And of course, I want to thank the inimitable Wendy Diamond for putting this all together and having us celebrate women's entrepreneurship. So let's give her a round of applause. So as Amir said, I was a film producer in Hollywood that won Emmy Awards and Tony Awards, and Missy won Grammy Awards, but you have an Emmy and Tony Award winner too on stage. But I was very taken by the Rwandan genocide and actually tried to do a film on the genocide when the movie Hotel Rwanda came out, and the Fox Studios said, we're very sorry, but we're not going to make your movie. And I felt compelled to go to Rwanda and see what I could do because, as I mentioned before, there were so many women raped that became HIV that were literally waiting to die with their families. So to me, the greatest philanthropy is a job, not a handout. And I was always good with jewelry. I never expected to do it as a career. But I realized the women were so talented with their hands. I thought, what could I do? What could I do as a person to give them employment? Because employment is about dignity. It's about capturing your talent. So I started this jewelry company, and this necklace was made by a genocide survivor in Rwanda, and every bead represents hope for this woman. And many of the women became entrepreneurs themselves. Asante Jacqueline started a potato business. So many of them started their own endeavors. But this necklace actually paid for one of their children to go to school for 1 year. Now, does anyone have children in school and know how much it costs? Imagine a necklace that could do so much. And this bracelet actually paid for their health care for 1 whole year. So I love the idea of this conscious consumerism concept. And there I was sending, this is 11 years ago, and I've been doing it for 11 years, and so I'm sending the beads, selling them here, and we helped around 200 women. Then I started working about 7 years ago with the Hudson County Jail and women who were formerly incarcerated. And we started making these little bracelets. And the same thing that happened in Rwanda happened here. The women would go around the table, they'd tell each other their fears, their anxieties, their shame, whatever it was, and they had each other. They had the support of the other women, and it empowered them to start dreaming again. And I can stand here and tell you that of the 200 women we gave jobs to, not one has gone back to prison in a population where 75% go back to prison within the first 24 months. So my dream really was to empower and scale as many women as possible. And here I am selling all this jewelry thinking, oh my God, how can I sell all this jewelry and keep selling it and scale? And I couldn't figure it out. So I got in business with this other company, and we started doing business training. And we started training the women to open their own collectives and to have material and products they could sell in Rwanda, but also get all the material so I wouldn't have to ship these heavy beads to Rwanda through FedEx. So the women started making baskets and bags, and I can tell you we've trained over 600 women now, and their businesses are such that they're selling to West Elm, they're selling to all these amazing stores, Bed Bath & Beyond, and they are doing better than when they had the jewelry. So I took this business training idea and started working in the Women in Need homeless shelter and started working with women who needed to build their income because they were mothers. And how, you know, it's very interesting when you go to a homeless shelter, you get shocked because you don't know who lives in that homeless shelter. There was a doctor from the Ivory Coast. There was a woman who had a real estate business in Tobago. There were so many women that were professional in the healthcare field, in different fields. Do you know how easy it is to fall off the grid? Do you have any idea of how easy it is? Well, these women started this computer training, and I'm here to say we're on our 6th group of women, and I can tell you that giving them skills to get jobs. They are determined. They inspire me every day. I have so much gratitude that I have the opportunity. And actually, I invite everybody to our next graduation, because if you want to get high on life, come see these women graduate with their children right next to them. It is something. If anybody wants to come, I really invite you. It's, anyway, the good news is that 40% of them, 40% of these women have gotten jobs, and 20% got permanent housing out of the homeless shelter. So the numbers are not perfect, but we're on the right track. So working with women is my passion, and I will continue doing it, and I'll never forget the women who are at the bottom, because they need it more. And as I said on the panel before, when you work with them, the impact that you make and the dividends that they pay are enormous, because the change in their families, their change with their children is just fantastic. But I want to leave here with one thought, which is that I believe that women, and we have some on this podium now with Lorene and Patty and really all the women, that we need to turn our philanthropy to helping other women. And why I'm saying that is, in America, 60% of the money is controlled by women. But do you know how much of that money goes to women's causes? 7%. And 5% is for breast cancer and ovarian cancer. So I want to challenge you to be a philanthropist, and I want to challenge you to support women's issues. And Lorene certainly has done it, and Patty has done it, and Norma, and of course Golden Seeds, and I forgot your name, I'm so embarrassed. But in any event, I think it's really important to think about what I'm saying. We have to be role models for other women to use their money to support each other, because that's going to change the world. Thank you very much.
So I'm delighted to announce the Music Pioneer Award to Missy Elliot. Yeah. So Missy, in case you didn't know, is an honorary doctor. So can you imagine how cool is that to have a rapper who's Dr. Missy Elliot?
Okay. Some of y'all may know that I'm extremely shy, so this is very hard for me to get up in close proximity like this, but I am so honored to be here. You know, I've received a lot of awards, but I never imagined this one. And I'm speechless, but I'm grateful. I want to thank Wendy Diamond. And I have spent like at least an hour trying to say the name. La Layla.
So I'm going to interrupt.
Okay.
Excited they're going to be. Oh my God. So we just say la la la.
Okay. See, I told them that's what it was. They say that's not what it is. La la la. Yes. I want to thank y'all. I want to make sure I get everybody. all the amazing women in here, I thank y'all because listening to you all's stories inspired me. And I was sitting there and saying, you know, ageism is a big thing in music. And yeah, you get that a lot, like after a certain age, they like, you still rapping? You still saying this? And you know, I feel like I'm going until I got dentures hanging out my mouth. and I think it's just amazing to be amongst so many strong entrepreneurs in here. I'm not gonna, you know, waste our time just talking about me. So, but I do want to say for whether you young or older, it's never too late. For women, I want y'all to continue to be bold, be fierce, create your own lane, be your own cheerleader, because sometimes, you know, you're not gonna have people to tell you that you can do it. It's gonna be days that you're gonna wake up and feel like it's never gonna happen. You have to have patience. I know some people may be like, I've been waiting for 30 years. I'm 80 now, but it don't matter. You know, as long as you breathing, keep going, keep pushing. I'm gonna keep pushing. Y'all keep pushing me. And I love y'all. If I have forgotten, oh, Atlantic Records is here. I thank y'all for being here. Mona Scott Young, my whole glam team. And again, for all you women, it is never too late, it's never too young. Make sure y'all fulfill every goal that y'all have. It's, you know, just a small story. When I was little, the teacher always asked what y'all wanted to be, you know, what y'all gonna be when y'all grow up. And I always said a superstar. And everybody in the class laughed and laughed every Friday. And I would say it every Friday. I'm gonna be a superstar. And if y'all know any of them, can y'all tag them and see if they still know me? I thank y'all at the UN. I thank y'all so much. I'm so grateful. I'm humble. Thank you so much.
So as I said, I didn't get to talk to you about what Missy has really achieved. She's a 5-time Grammy Awards winner. And she's an inspiration to so many. She has really, truly inspired generations. And really, with your stunning creativity and boldness, you innovate and entertain. Thank you. And bless you. Yay!